Full philosophy of the Avatamsaka Sutra, the pinnacle of Mahayana Buddhism, all dharmas are one? Have you ever felt that this world is not at all as fragmented as we imagine? That everything happening in your life seems connected to something beyond ordinary understanding? For example, you think of someone and they suddenly call you. You meet a stranger yet feel as if you already know them. A breeze stirs, petals fall, and in that instant you fall silent as though you have touched a profound truth that cannot be named. You may brush it off. You may think it merely a coincidence. But what if it is not coincidence? What if every movement in the present moment is an echo of an undivided whole? What if the world is not a collection of separate pieces but a vast interwoven network in which every breath, every glance, every thought is linked to the entire universe? That is the world of light described in the Avatamsaka Sutra, one of the most voluminous, complex, and profound scriptures of Mahayana Buddhism. It is a map of thought that transcends philosophy, spirituality, science, and religion. In that world, there is no longer self and all things as two separate entities, but only a single life stream flowing through infinite forms. A realm untouched by boundaries of time, space, or form. A realm in which each speck of dust contains the entire Dharma realm. A realm in which every step can leave an imprint upon all existence. The Buddha calls that world the flower ornament realm. And the core teaching of this entire system is expressed in a simple sentence that can shake all our old assumptions. All dharmas are one. One is all dharmas. In other words, nothing is fragmented, nothing is insignificant, nothing is meaningless. Even a single thought, if deep enough, calm enough, pure enough, can illuminate the entire Dharma realm. The Avatamsaka Sutra is not a book to be consumed and set aside, nor a philosophical theory to debate. It is a door. That door does not open outward but inward, into a place where, if you are sufficiently still, you will feel the entire universe breathing with you. And in that breath you are no longer someone observing this world. You are the world itself becoming aware of itself through your mind. In the words of the Zen masters, you do not practice in order to reach nirvana. The moment you stand still, you are already standing within the Dharma realm. The Avatamsaka Sutra was first taught in the moment the Buddha realized enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. Having clearly seen the true nature of reality, the Buddha remained silent, for that vision was too vast, too deep, too magnificent for any words to convey. Only later did he expound the Avatamsaka Sutra to bodhisattvas of the highest capacity, not to beginners, for no one can grasp it while the mind remains entangled in dualistic concepts and ego. This is the very first and also the deepest of all sutras, where all distinctions dissolve, leaving only the light of the perfect Dharma realm unobstructed. The contents of the Avatamsaka Sutra are immense, but can be distilled into three main themes. 1. Understanding the world, that is, the Dharma realm. 2. The path of practice, that is, the Bodhisattva way. 3. The experience of perfect enlightenment, that is, entering the inconceivable Dharma realm. In this video series, you will not merely learn about the philosophy, you will embark on a journey that goes nowhere yet delves deeply into your own mind. Each chapter is a door. Each door opens to a level of reality, from the subtlest insight to the most overwhelming vision. And no matter who you are, what you do, where you live, the truths revealed by the Avatamsaka Sutra are always present around you. You have just never called them by name. This is not a series to explore Buddhism in the usual sense. It is an invitation to enter the deepest region of consciousness, where a single flower can be a sutra, a single glance can be meditation, a single word can open the Buddha realm. And if you are still enough to listen and curious enough to step inside, you will realize that it is not you watching this video, but the Dharma realm gazing upon itself through your mind. Slow your breath, listen, but do not rush to understand. For the deepest truths lie not in words, but in the silence between the verses and the hymns that open the sutra. It is curious that amidst the most profound philosophy of the Avatamsaka Sutra, the scripture regarded as the pinnacle of Mahayana thought, there reverberates a very short verse of only 4 lines. Yet nearly everyone who opens the sutra and recites its verses knows it by heart. That verse begins with a vow from countless past lives. Supremely profound and wondrous Dharma, seldom encountered in hundreds of thousands of kalpas. Now having heard it, received, and upheld it, may I understand the Buddha's true and wondrous meaning. We often chant this verse to open our minds, but few pause to ask who composed it and why it came to be. The surprising answer points to a figure whose story has sparked endless debate in history, the only female emperor in Chinese history, Empress Wu Zetian. Feared by some as ruthless, immoral, and cunning, she was also the patron of scholarship, an advocate for merit, and, above all, a devout supporter of the Buddhist teachings. It was during that golden age that Master Fazang lectured on the Avatamsaka Sutra in the imperial court, and the listener was none other than Empress Wu herself. Historical records say that after hearing the teachings on the 6 characteristics, the 4 dharmadhatus, and the 10 mysterious interdependent realities, she sat in silent rapture, not as a sovereign but as a child of the Buddha. Overwhelmed by the vast wisdom of the Buddhas, moved beyond regal protocol, she composed those 4 lines not to be praised but to engrave their meaning upon her heart. The feeling of opening your eyes after years spent in a palace, yet suddenly blinded by all the light. And that verse became the opening chant for countless recitations thereafter. A gentle door swung ajar before entering the ocean of wisdom that is the Avatamsaka Sutra. The paradox is that people often judge Empress Wu Zetian by her sins, but the Buddha's teaching sees a being not by biography but by the stirring of their heart. No one is born wholly pure, nor doomed forever to darkness. One who committed evil may one day weep upon hearing the truth. What matters is whether they hear it, and whether they have the root of goodness to understand. Wu Zetian wielded the world's power, yet before the Avatamsaka Sutra she was simply a woman standing in silent devotion. Those 4 lines were perhaps not the cunning of an emperor, but the joy of a soul realizing how long it had gone without truly seeing. From then on the verse became ritual, tradition, a small bridge helping millions of practitioners, old and young, monastics and laypeople alike. Remember that you are about to step into a wondrous realm, where every syllable is a flower petal and every meaning is the Dharma realm. That is why each day before someone recites the sutra, they often intone these 3 lines. Supremely profound and wondrous Dharma, seldom encountered in hundreds of thousands of kalpas. Now having heard it, received, and upheld it, may I understand the Buddha's true and wondrous meaning. A reminder that the Buddha's teaching is rare, and if today we have the chance to hear it, it is the blessing of countless past lives. If today we listen without stirring reverence, joy, or the aspiration to understand, then we waste our human life. The Avatamsaka Sutra is not to be chanted to fill pages, but to tap gently on the door of consciousness so that all dharmas are one. One as all dharmas may awaken from within. It began with a verse by an empress, yet it opens the path of return to truth for all beings. And now, having glimpsed the spirit of that verse, we can look more deeply at what is considered the core of the Avatamsaka Sutra, the 6 characteristics of perfect integration, the 4 dharmadhatus, the non-obstruction of dharmas, and the 10 mysterious interdependent realities. We will begin with something seemingly very small, a speck of dust. For within that speck of dust the entire Dharma realm is in motion. Perhaps on a midday afternoon you sit alone by a window. Sunlight filters through the blinds and you suddenly see tiny dust particles drifting in the air. They make no sound and have no distinct shape, but you know they are there. In the Avatamsaka Sutra, the Buddha uses the image of a speck of dust to illustrate the entire Dharma realm. He does not choose a planet, a star, a human, an animal, or a majestic mountain, but a speck of dust. Why? Because a speck of dust is the smallest, most silent thing, unnoticed and overlooked. Yet if you look closely, within that speck lies the entire Dharma realm, not as metaphor or literary flourish, but as truth realized by the Buddha's mind when no self remained, no clinging, no duality. He saw that each speck of dust was formed by countless causes and conditions. Nothing exists on its own. Everything is impermanent, and each cause connects to innumerable others. Thus a speck of dust is not merely itself, it is a window through which the entire world can be seen. In the Avatamsaka teaching, smallness does not mean lack of value. The small, when seen deeply, is the microcosm of the universe. Just as when you peer into a drop of water you see the sky reflected. The drop does not hold the sky, nor control it. It simply appears, and because it is nothing separate, it manifests everything. A speck of dust is the same. It is not separate from the world because it has nothing of its own. Through that nothingness it contains all things. This story is not confined to scripture. You can experience it now. Try pausing for a long moment in morning light, in a quiet room, and notice a speck of dust drifting. Do not name it or analyze it. Simply see it with softness, slowness, stillness, and you will sense something extraordinary. Within that tiny mote lies a vast, boundless, undivided realm. You may feel that the speck of dust is not floating in space, but that space itself is manifesting as the speck of dust. And you yourself are no longer the observer. You and the speck are not two. That is the first door of the Avatamsaka Sutra, not a physical gate, but a doorway of the mind. The mind that sees brings that Dharma realm into view. But if you look at everything through rushed, biased eyes, the world seems only a collection of fragments, a series of collisions, a stream of senseless events. Yet if you pause and look at one speck of dust as if looking at yourself, you will see a miracle, the entire world coming alive in this very moment. The Avatamsaka Sutra does not invite you to seek truth in distant lands. It invites you to notice what is closest, smallest, most ordinary. From there you will realize, nothing is ordinary when seen with an extraordinary mind. Nothing is small when you know that within a single speck of dust the entire Dharma realm may reside. This teaching is more than philosophy, it can transform how you live. Instead of seeking something sublime to admire, you begin to cherish each moment you have. Instead of resenting a dull routine, you start to see every detail as teaching you something. The dust on the windowsill, a dry leaf falling at your feet, the hum of traffic outside, all the things you once deemed trivial or meaningless. All of these can become portals to the Dharma realm, not by escaping life, not by retreating to a forest hermitage, but by living in the world without losing clear insight. In Zen they say, step on a withered leaf, and the whole Dharma realm resonates. It may sound hyperbolic, but it is true, because the Dharma realm is not separate from any sound. The question is whether you're listening. When you truly see a speck of dust, you are not seeing with eyes, but with the mind, in stillness, in direct awareness, beyond concepts. And from that moment everything appears not meaningless, but as the manifestation of a world reflecting upon itself. The Dharma realm is nowhere far away, not hidden in temples, scriptures, or lofty theories. It is in the speck of dust you once sneezed at. It is in the gaze you once ignored. And if you become still enough, the door will open, not from outside, but by quietly parting within your own heart. Part 2. What is the Dharma realm? A world perceived by the mind. There is a kind of seeing that does not come from the eyes, and there is a world no physical light can reveal. It is neither in front of you nor behind you, not above in the sky and not below in the earth. It is right where you are breathing, manifesting exactly as the mind that observes it. That world is called the Dharma realm in the Avatamsaka Sutra. If you ask, what is the Dharma realm? No one can answer with a fixed definition, because the Dharma realm is not a concept. It cannot be captured in words. As the Bodhisattvas say, the Dharma realm is the totality of all phenomena and essences, from the subtlest to the boundless. It is not just the material world, but also the world of mind, of energy, of invisible processes. It does not exist in space. It is the very structure of life itself. You cannot stand outside the Dharma realm to observe it, because you are already a part of it. You are a river flowing within the ocean of the whole, and the Dharma realm is not a place you go to. It is the reality that you already are, once you awaken to it. The key question is not, where is the Dharma realm? But what is the state of your mind as you look at life? One person sees another human being and feels only annoyance. Another looks at the very same person and feels compassion. One sees rain and feels sorrow. Another sees it and feels gentleness. One perceives life as a chain of suffering. Another perceives it as a miraculous flow. Why? Because mind colors the world. Phenomena have no self-nature. It is the mind that shapes all appearances. The Buddha once said, the mind is like a master painter who creates entire worlds. The Dharma realm has no fixed shape. It is a mirror. Whatever mind you place before that mirror, the world will appear accordingly. Indeed, if you carry anger in your mind, you live in hell. If you harbor greed, you dwell among hungry ghosts. If you rest in quiet equanimity, you abide in the heavenly realms, even while your body remains in the same place. Thus, the Dharma realm is not marked on any map. It lies not kilometers away. It does not require you to cross mountains or wade through snow. It is only a single state of mind away. You may travel the world your entire life seeking something, but if you do not look back at your own mind, you will never touch the Dharma realm. You may enter churches, meditation halls, and monasteries. You may read hundreds of sacred texts. You may listen to the greatest teachers. But if your mind remains driven by ego, attachment, judgment, and craving, all of that will be mere echo, unable to hear the true voice of the Dharma realm, like a speaker with static. No matter how beautiful the music, you only perceive distortion. Only when you wipe away the dust of the mind will the Dharma realm appear in its wholeness. Some ask, if the Dharma realm is everything, why do I not see it? Because you are not truly looking, you are thinking. You are analyzing, chasing ideas, labeling each experience with old memories. You are not living in the present as it actually is. Every time you say, "I already know," you slam shut the door to the Dharma realm, for it cannot be known by thought. It only appears when you become as clear and still as a calm pool of water, as spotless as a mirror, as open-eyed as a child seeing the world for the first time, without comparison, without judgment, without control. In that state, the tree is no longer simply the tree you learned about in books. The person is no longer good or bad. All things simply are themselves, no additions, no subtractions, and you are no longer the observer but the pure act of seeing itself. That is when the Dharma realm opens, not with fanfare or grandeur, but with the utmost simplicity. Zen master Huayan called this seeing one's true nature, perceiving the essential nature of all dharmas. That nature neither arises nor ceases, neither comes nor goes, neither rejoices nor laments, neither is good nor bad. It simply is. When you touch that realm of seeing, you are no longer ignited by the world. You are no longer swayed by praise or blame, gain or loss, because you recognize that all phenomena arise in an endless web of interdependence. No one exists in isolation, nothing is accidental, no act fails to affect the whole, no moment lacks meaning. With a single deep breath, you connect with all who breathe. With one gaze, you sense the suffering of countless lifetimes. With one touch of a hand, you stir heaven and earth, for it is not a personal act but the Dharma realm expressing itself through you. In the light of the Avatamsaka Sutra, there is no small me cast into a chaotic world, only an invisible living network in which you are a bright node, each node linked to countless others. When you see this, you no longer live as if you were the center. You will no longer try to control anyone, nor need to win or prove yourself right or stand out, for you will see that everything is already complete. A falling leaf has its place. A temple bell ringing at midday is not alone. A stream flowing through a narrow alley still contributes to the ocean. Nothing is superfluous, nothing accidental. And if you live from this seeing, you will walk as if on the Buddha land. You will speak as if chanting a silent sutra. You will be still as if offering homage to the Dharma realm. You do not need to master all theories. You need only grasp one truth. As your mind is, so the world appears. The Dharma realm is an honest mirror. It speaks no words, judges no one. It simply reflects you. And if today you pause, you will realize you need go nowhere else, find nothing more, for where you stand is exactly where the Dharma realm is manifest. Part 3. One is all is one. Do you believe that a single drop of water can contain the entire ocean? That a lone leaf still pulses with the life of the whole forest? That one breath can connect innumerable realms? It sounds poetic, but in the light of the Avatamsaka Sutra, this is not poetry but truth, a truth beyond ordinary logic, one that can only be touched by a mind freed from duality. When the Buddha said, "One is all is one," he was not speaking metaphorically, he was expressing a direct seeing. A seeing possible only when you no longer regard yourself as the center of the universe. When you cease viewing yourself as a solitary individual lost in vast life, the subtlest phenomena, like the spark at the tip of a match or a speck of dust drifting in sunlight, are not representations but full embodiments of the entire Dharma realm. They are not merely symbols, they are one is all, and conversely, the all is complete within the one. You might imagine this as an infinite series of mirrors. Each mirror reflects all the others. No mirror stands alone. No image exists in isolation. One point of light radiates into all converge upon that single point. This is the structure of the Avatamsaka Dharma realm, without center or periphery. Every Dharma is central, and each center opens onto an infinite world. Zen calls this, one is all is one. At first it sounds simple, but if you pause and contemplate deeply, you'll see it can overturn your entire worldview. From childhood, we're taught that the world is made of separate parts. A tree is a tree, a person is a person, a table is a table, each existing independently. But the Avatamsaka Sutra disagrees. It says, nothing is separate, nothing stands alone, nothing is isolated. All interpenetrates, interemerges, interpervates. What does that mean? When you look at a flower, you're not just seeing its petals. You're seeing the sun. Without sunlight, it would never bloom. You're seeing the earth. Without soil, it could not grow. You're seeing the rain. Without water, it could not live. You're seeing the gardener. Without the sower, the flower would not exist. Thus, a single, small flower is in fact the entire cosmos in bloom. And you are not merely a human being, but the crystallization of ancestors, of society, of nation, of the universe. Every breath you take is air gifted by forests. Every cell in your body silently resonates with millions of other life forms. When you realize this, you no longer live alone or see yourself as separate. You no longer feel existential loneliness, for you recognize that all is present within you, and you are present in all. This insight cannot arise from dualistic thinking. It requires another form of knowing, meditative intuition rather than analytical thought. There, you stop striving to understand and simply rest in presence. In that complete presence, the one spontaneously opens into the all, and the all quietly converges back into the one. No boundaries, no distinctions. Know this verse is that only a single stream of life reflecting itself in infinite forms. Like a drop of water in the ocean, it is a drop, yet it is also the ocean, inseparable. Like a cell in the body, it has its own life, yet cannot live apart from the whole. Each cell reflects the entire organism. You are the same. You are you, yet you are also the all. You are a star shining within a vast sky of stars. Without you, the sky would lack one spark. Without the sky, your light would remain unseen. This is the profound truth of the Avatamsaka Sutra. The one contains the all, and the all is revealed in the one. Not metaphor, not exaggeration, but reality. Be still enough, and you will see. If you live from this insight, you will begin to change. You will no longer wish to harm anyone, because you recognize them as yourself. You will no longer envy, compete, or seek to defeat others, because you know all are flowing in a single stream of the Dharma realm. To harm one is to harm yourself. To cause suffering to any being is to disturb the entire cosmos. From that, you become gentler and kinder, not out of fear or moral code, but because you have seen all as one. And you cannot be happy while the whole is in pain. When you touch that vision, you don't need to struggle and practice. Your mind naturally lets go of coarse attachments. You live like one who has realized they are not alone, and so you open your heart. You no longer fear. You have nothing to prove. You simply live each moment fully, knowing that in every instant the entire Dharma realm is manifest. Avatamsaka and other philosophical traditions. Place the Avatamsaka Sutra beside the world's great philosophical schools, and you'll notice something remarkable. Though they begin differently, speak different languages, and rest on different foundations, at their deepest level they all try to answer the same questions. What is this world? Who am I? How can one live fully in a reality filled with contradictions? Western philosophy has walked many paths, from Plato to Descartes, from Kant to Hegel, from Nietzsche to Sartre and Camus. Each brings its own lens, its own voice amid the chaos. Yet when those lenses meet the light of the Avatamsaka Sutra, an unexpected resonance emerges, not identity, but harmony. Existentialism. Sartre said, existence precedes essence, meaning humans are not born with a predefined nature. We become what we live, choose, and take responsibility for. In one respect, this aligns with the Avatamsaka view. The Dharma realm is not a preset map. Every action, every choice, every intention is a thread in the web of causes and conditions that bring the universe into being. Nietzsche, he proclaimed, God is dead, rejecting all metaphysics and urging humans to stand courageously, overcome fear and dependency, and become the Übermensch. For the Avatamsaka, there is no supernatural hand behind the scenes, only the dynamic, interdependent arising of all phenomena. Hegel, his dialectic holds that each thing carries its own negation, and from that contradiction the world unfolds toward the absolute. This echoes the Avatamsaka's teachings on the 6 characteristics in the 10 mysterious interdependent realities, where every dharma, no matter how minute, embodies the universal, the particular, sameness and difference, arising and ceasing. Nothing stands still, all is in constant flux. If existentialism emphasizes freedom, the Avatamsaka emphasizes interdependence. Freedom is not doing whatever one wants, but seeing the world's web of interconnection and relinquishing the small self to live responsibly within the whole. If Western rational philosophy often begins with concepts, the Avatamsaka begins with direct realization, not reasoning toward truth, but letting go of reasoning so that truth may manifest itself. You need not agree or believe, just look deeply at a dewdrop on a leaf, or listen to birds calling at dawn. If your mind is still enough, you will see that philosophy is not confined to academic tomes or lecture halls. It lives in every moment. The toll of a temple bell is philosophy. An elder's peaceful smile is philosophy. Someone quietly cleaning an altar is philosophy. No rhetoric, no preaching, just presence. In the Avatamsaka Sutra appears a special figure, Sadhana, the youth who visits 53 wise companions, from kings to courtesans, gatekeepers to Taoist masters to Buddhists. No two are alike, none perfect, yet each embodies a fragment of the Dharma realm. No one lacks truth, only whether you can perceive it. This is the great difference between the Avatamsaka and many other systems of thought. Most philosophies start from general ideas and then explain reality, whereas the Avatamsaka reverses that. It begins with living reality itself and lets that reality speak its own nature. Zen Buddhism calls this, one is all is one. At first glance it sounds simple, but if you pause and contemplate deeply, you'll see it can overturn your entire foundation of perception. From childhood, we're taught the world is built of separate parts. A tree is a tree, a person is a person, a table is a table, distinct, independent entities. But the Avatamsaka Sutra disagrees. It teaches, nothing is separate, nothing stands alone, nothing is isolated. All intermingles, interpervades, interpenetrates. What does this mean? When you look at a flower, you do not see only its petals. You see the sun, for without sunlight it would never bloom. You see the earth, for without soil it would not grow. You see the rain, for without water it would not live. You see the gardener, for without someone sowing the seed the flower could not exist. Thus one small blossom is in fact the totality of heaven and earth. And you are not merely a human being. You are the culmination of ancestors, of society, of nation, of the universe. Each breath you inhale is the gift of trees. Every cell in your body silently resonates with millions of other living beings. When you recognize this, you no longer live alone or see yourself as separate. You no longer suffer existential loneliness, for you realize all is present within you, and you are present in all. Such insight cannot arise through dualistic thought alone. It requires another form of knowing, meditative intuition rather than analytical thinking. Though you no longer strive to understand, you simply abide in presence. And in that perfect presence, the one spontaneously unfolds into the all, and the all quietly converges back into the one. No boundaries, no distinctions, no this verse is that only a single stream of life reflecting itself in infinite forms. Like a drop of water in the ocean, it is a drop, yet it is also the ocean, inseparable. Like a cell in the body, it has its own life, yet it cannot live apart from the whole. Each cell reflects the entire living organism. You are the same. You are you, yet you are also the all. You are a star shining in a sky of stars. Without you, the sky would lack one spark. Without the sky, your light would remain unseen. This is the profound truth of the Avatamsaka Sutra. The one contains the all, and the all manifests in the one. Not metaphor, not exaggeration, but reality. Be still enough, and you will see. And if you live from this insight, you will begin to change. You will no longer wish to harm anyone, because you know they are yourself. You will no longer envy, compete, or seek to defeat, because you know all are floating together in one stream of the Dharma realm. To harm one is to harm yourself. To cause suffering to any being is to disturb the entire universe. From this, you become gentler, kinder, not out of fear or moral obligation, but because you have seen all as one. And you cannot be happy while the whole is in pain. When you touch that vision, you need not struggle with practice. Your heart will naturally let go of coarse afflictions. You will live as one who has realized they are not alone, and thus you open your heart. You no longer fear, you have nothing to prove. You simply live each moment fully, knowing that in every instant the entire Dharma realm manifests. Avatamsaka and other philosophical paths. If you place the Avatamsaka Sutra alongside the great philosophical traditions of the world, you'll discover something fascinating. That their starting points differ, languages differ, and foundations differ. At their deepest level, they all seek to answer the same questions. What is this world? Who am I? How can one live fully in a reality filled with contradictions? Western philosophy has taken many roads, from Plato to Descartes, Kant to Hegel, Nietzsche to Sartre and Camus. Each carries its own lens, its own worldview, its own distinct voice amid the chaos. But when these lenses meet the light of the Avatamsaka Sutra, a curious resonance emerges, not identity, but harmony. Existentialism. Sartre said, existence precedes essence, meaning humans are not born with a predetermined nature. We become what we live, choose, and take responsibility for. In some sense, this aligns with the Avatamsaka's view. The Dharma realm is not a preset map, but each action, each choice, each intention weaves the universe into being. Nietzsche, he declared, God is dead, rejecting all metaphysics, urging humans to rise courageously, overcome fear and dependency, and become the Übermensch. For the Avatamsaka, there is no hidden divine hand, no supernatural fate, only the interdependent arising of all phenomena. Hegel, his dialectic holds that each thing contains its own negation, and from that contradiction the world evolves toward the absolute. This mirrors the Avatamsaka's doctrines of the 6 characteristics in the 10 mysterious modes of interdependent arising, where each dharma, no matter how small, embodies the universal, the particular, likeness and difference, arising and ceasing. Nothing stands still, all is in constant flux. If existentialism emphasizes freedom, the Avatamsaka emphasizes interdependence. Freedom is not doing whatever one wants, but seeing the web of connection and relinquishing the small self to live responsibly within the whole. If Western rationalist philosophy often begins with concepts, the Avatamsaka begins with direct realization, not reasoning toward truth, but letting go of reasoning so that truth may manifest itself. You need not agree or believe, simply look deeply into a dewdrop on a leaf, listen to the birdsong at dawn. If your mind is still enough, you will see that philosophy is not confined to books or lectures, it lives in every moment. The toll of a temple bell is philosophy, an elder's tranquil smile is philosophy, someone quietly cleaning an altar is philosophy. No grand speeches, no doctrines, only presence. In the Avatamsaka Sutra there is a special figure named Sadhana, the youth of good learning. He visits 53 spiritual friends, from kings to courtesans, gatekeepers to hermits to Buddhists. No two are alike, none perfect, yet each embodies a fragment of the Dharma realm. No one lacks truth, only whether you can perceive it. This is the great difference between the Avatamsaka and many other philosophical systems. Most philosophies start from abstract ideas and then explain reality. The Avatamsaka reverses that. It begins with living reality itself and allows that reality to reveal its own nature. Part 5. The Dharma realm is not far. It's right here. A common mistake is to think the Dharma realm is somewhere distant, a higher realm, a sacred state reserved for saints, a world entirely separate from our dusty, weary life. We divide existence into the profane and the sacred, experience into spiritual and secular, action into religious and mundane. But in the light of the Avatamsaka Sutra, these divisions are mere illusions. The Dharma realm is not atop a mountain, nor in a remote monastery, nor in some celestial heaven. The Dharma realm is present right here, in the very moment you breathe, in every slightest movement of daily life. You need not journey to the Dharma realm. You need only see it operating in every breath, every sound, every sense impression, every vibrant instant. This is what the Avatamsaka calls the unobstructed Dharma realm. No phenomenon lies outside it. No circumstance is meaningless. All directly manifest the truth. Even as you wash dishes, sweep the floor, or sit amid a bustling market, the Dharma realm is at work, breathing, unfolding, incessant, if only you see it. A famous Zen story tells of a disciple who asked his teacher, "After I attain realization, what should I do?" The teacher replied, "Chop wood, carry water, cook rice." The disciple, startled, said, "But those are the mundane tasks I do every day." The teacher smiled. "They differ now in that you do them in awareness, you do them within the Dharma realm. No one is doing, nothing needs doing, only life manifesting as itself. That is when you cease seeking, no longer needing to perceive anything lofty, no longer waiting to practice for 10 years, no longer anticipating a special spiritual sign. For you know truth does not lie in the extraordinary, but in the very ordinary that has been forgotten. A deep breath, a warm cup of tea, a steady step, a genuine smile. All are doors through which you touch the Dharma realm. You can live amid a crowded city and still perceive the profound order of the Dharma realm at work. You can hear the clamor of traffic yet, if you listen, perceive the silence of your own mind. You may be busy, working, beset by troubles, but in all of it, the Dharma realm never departs. It is only absent from a mind clouded by ignorance, by the dust of expectations, fears, comparisons, in control, a mind unwilling to accept what is. As long as you think, this life is not good enough, or this reality must change, you are not ready to see the way, for the Dharma realm does not dwell in something different, it dwells in what is here. Now, no additions, no subtractions, no adornments. No mystery. This is why Zen often says, do not seek the Buddha in a temple. The Buddha cooks rice, sweeps the courtyard, washes feet, sits beside you in the form of your mother, your father, your child, your spouse. All is Buddha, all is Dharma, all is Sangha. The 3 jewels are not 3 separate things, but the Dharma realm manifesting across 3 dimensions of life. In that vision there is no practitioner and object. No, I am practicing and life obstructs me. Only a single unbroken stream of life. A stream you no longer stand outside to observe, but one you live and are. When you truly live within that seeing, you begin to change, silently, effortlessly, yet naturally. You no longer chase perfection, for you recognize that everything already belongs to completeness. You will no longer need to prove your worth, for your value does not derive from comparison but from simply being. You will no longer have to run, for you have arrived right here, right now. And every small act you perform carries depth, a depth that needs no showcasing, no praise, because you know you are living within the Dharma realm, where nothing is random and nothing is meaningless. When you pour a glass of water, you know that water is yesterday's cloud, today's dew, the sweat of farmers who carried it up the mountain, the voice of earth and sky and time, and you pour it in gratitude, not for others to see, but so that you do not forget the Dharma realm is here. Part 6. The 6 characteristics, seeing the whole in every part. Imagine you hold a single flower petal in your hand, a thin membrane, a golden stamen, a gentle hue soothing to the eye. You gaze at it for a long time, not because it is beautiful or to photograph it, but as if seeing a flower for the first time in your life. If you are still enough, truly pause, you will notice something remarkable. The petal ceases to be merely an isolated object and begins to unfold layers upon layers. Each layer is a different dimension of depth. And if you allow your mind to view it through the light of the Avatamsaka Sutra, you will perceive 6 gateways, 6 modes of observation called the 6 characteristics. This is one of the central principles of the entire Avatamsaka teaching, not for academic study, but for seeing life with a mind of perfect integration. 1. Universal characteristic. Could your visuous see the totality, perceive the flower as a complete whole, without analysis, without division, simply as a full manifestation of life. 2. Distinctive characteristic. Vividha. See each distinct part, the petal, the stamen, the stem, the leaf. Each has its own feature, its own quality, its own role. 3. Common characteristic. Samanya. See what it shares with all other flowers. All blossoms have petals, have stamens, require sunlight to bloom. 4. Differentiating characteristic. Via. See how it differs. Roses are not lotuses. Quiet people differ from outgoing people. Each life form is uniquely itself. 5. Arising characteristic. Upathakala. See the process of arising. The flower emerges through countless conditions: wind, rain, sunlight, soil, the care of the planter. 6. Ceasing characteristic. Via pravdi. See its fading. The blossom will wither, its color will fade, but within that decay lies preparation for another bloom, a cycle that never ends. When you view a flower through all 6 characteristics, you no longer see an isolated object. You see a dharma, a vibrant expression of the Dharma realm. Not merely a beautiful blossom, but a tapestry of interdependent conditions temporarily manifesting here. This is why the Buddha did not view the world as we do. Whatever he saw the totality, the conditions, the impermanence, the absence of self-nature. The 6 characteristics help you perceive life with greater compassion. You no longer see a person as merely troublesome, but see all the causes and conditions that shape them. You no longer hate an action, for you see it as the outcome of countless uncontrollable factors. Seeing this, you cease judging and begin listening. You step back to see life more clearly, not getting swept away, not clinging. Universal characteristic reminds you never to forget the whole, never to homogenize everything. Common characteristic teaches you to recognize likeness amid diversity. Differentiating characteristic reminds you to honor uniqueness. Arising characteristic instills gratitude, for nothing arises by itself. Ceasing characteristic grounds you in humility, for nothing endures forever. And all 6 characteristics are inseparable, present simultaneously in any object, like sunlight streaming through a dewdrop. You cannot isolate red from a rainbow. You cannot see beauty without its decline. You cannot cherish the bloom without accepting the wilt. The 6 characteristics are not 6 dead concepts. They are 6 beams of light illuminating everything around you, from a raindrop to an entire life, from a single petal to a tear. All can blaze brilliantly if you look with the 6 characteristics of perfect integration. Part 7. The 10 mysterious gates, 10 doorways to an unobstructed view of the world. There are aspects of reality we cannot see with the eyes, grasp with reason, define in words, or capture by any method we have learned. When viewed deeply, the world is no longer a collection of separate objects but a vast, interwoven network, a flowing stream of life in constant motion, everywhere and at every moment. In the Avatamsaka Sutra, to open this limitless vision, the patriarchs present the 10 mysterious gates, 10 doorways, 10 methods of contemplation, 10 perspectives, not to choose one, but to traverse all 10 without clinging to any single view. 1. Simultaneous fullness gate. All dharmas arise together, each complete and perfect. Nothing comes later, nothing waits for sufficient conditions to appear. 2. Mutual containment gate. Each dharma contains all others, and all others manifest within each dharma. Nothing stands alone, no center, no periphery. 3. No subject-object gate. No absolute subject or object. No fixed agent, no fixed patient. Only pure interactivity. 4. Subtle manifestation gate. Even in the smallest phenomena, the entire essence shines forth. A breath, a raindrop, a breeze. Each is a window onto the Dharma realm. 5. Hidden manifest gate. The seen and the unseen coexist. Clarity and openness are not intention. 6. Dynamic unobstruction gate. Dharmas never stagnate or freeze. All move fluidly without obstructing one another. 7. Infinite interdependence gate. No dharma is wholly independent or wholly dependent. Each relies on others to arise, and within each is an infinite chain of causes at play. 8. Natural arising and dissolution gate. Formation, persistence, decay, and disappearance unfold naturally without coercion, and decay itself is part of arising. 9. Mind, only manifestation gate. All realms are manifestations of mind. There is no world separate from perception. 10. All dharmas co-arising gate. Every dharma arises supported by countless others. Nothing has a single cause. Everything is a composite of interdependent conditions and ever in flux. Notice, these 10 gates do not open to 10 different worlds, but to one single world seen through 10 distinct lenses. They are not alternatives, but invitations to release attachment to any fixed viewpoint. In daily life, we often get stuck in one perspective. This person is bad. This situation is dangerous. This event is final. We forget that infinite layers lie behind every appearance. The 10 mysterious gates remind us. Nothing is fixed. Nothing is separate. Nothing carries only one meaning. Each encounter is a doorway. If you do not confine yourself, you will perceive one dharma through 10 visions, 100,000 worlds. And from there you begin to live more lightly. No longer clinging to, I am right. No longer stuck on, that is wrong. No longer needing others to mirror you. You step back. You look again. You see that all simply are. Everything has its place. Every person their role. Every circumstance its own portal. Each leading back to the Dharma realm, provided you enter with an open heart. Part 8. The 4 dharmadhatus, 4 levels of perceiving the Dharma realm. Sometimes we think we see the world, but in fact we perceive only a small fragment. Often that fragment is not reality but a reflection of our own minds, like looking through tinted glass that distorts everything, leading us to believe the world is bleak, others are wrong, life is unfair, when it is our vision that is clouded. From this limited view, the Avatamsaka Sutra unveils a new system of perception. The 4 dharmadhatus, for layers, for dimensions, for stages for discerning the true nature of all dharmas. Not to memorize or debate, but to transform our vision from fragmentation to totality, from confusion to perfect integration. 1. The dharmadhatu of phenomena, saptasesha. The common view. The world appears as a collection of separate phenomena. I am me, you are you, tree is tree, table is table. Remaining here, we succumb to self, clinging, comparison, and conflict. 2. The dharmadhatu of principle, paramarthasadya. A crucial shift. All phenomena, though diverse, share one essence. All arise through interdependent causes, lack inherent self, nature, and are fleeting manifestations of an unseen reality. Here, you abandon attachment to mere things and perceive emptiness of self, nature. 3. The non-obstruction of principle and phenomena dharmadhatu. Having realized principle without denying the reality of phenomena, you see that principle and phenomena do not obstruct one another. Within every form is emptiness. Within every flux is stillness. Within every arising and ceasing is timeless essence. No duality, no separation, no obstacle. 4. The non-obstruction of phenomena dharmadhatu. The deepest layer. You perceive that all distinct phenomena do not obstruct one another. Each dharma freely manifests without hindering others, like countless stars filling the sky. each shining in its own right, without competing for space. All blend into a living symphony. No one is center, no one is right or wrong, absolute or relative. Every being, every action, every circumstance holds its place within the whole. Living from this vision, you do not merely understand the Dharma realm. You are the Dharma realm manifest in your very existence. You see every phenomenon as itself and as a manifestation of the totality. No need to strive harder or correct anything, for in perfect integration, everything already is as it should be. Your mind becomes weighty yet unburdened, clear yet ungraspable, intimate yet unattached. You may live amid the world like a clear stream. No additions, no subtractions, simply present. This is the supreme Dharma realm. No reasoning, no concepts, nothing fixed. Simply observing a raindrop is the fullness of sky and earth. A single step is a journey through all worlds. No achievement, no retreat, no destination. Where you stand is the self-reflecting Dharma realm in its perfect integration. Part 9. The 10 Grounds, the 10 Stages of a Bodhisattva's Evolution. Enlightenment is not a destination nor a single moment of sudden, perpetual illumination. In the Avatamsaka Sutra, awakening is portrayed as a process, a flowing river, a journey from a mind still tainted through countless stages of transformation to a mind fully at liberty. This is the path of the Bodhisattva, not one who escapes the world, but one who lives within it without being carried away by delusive thoughts, unbound by ego, no longer casting oneself as the universe's center. In the Avatamsaka practice system, this journey is divided into 10 grounds, or levels. 1. The joyful ground. Here the practitioner first experiences joy arising from within, no longer clinging, no longer bound by fixed views, no sense of needing to surpass others or achieve anything. This joy is not from gain, but from letting go of what need not be held, light freedom, spontaneous delight without cause. 2. The stainless ground. The mind becomes pure, no longer easily soiled by anger, envy, or hatred. Though living amid the world's turmoil, one's heart remains untainted, like spring water flowing through mud yet retaining perfect clarity. 3. The luminous ground. Intuitive wisdom begins to dawn, not discursive intellect, but a direct light of insight. One perceives the deep suffering in others, hears the unspoken resonance beneath their words, and every step carries a gentle radiance that soothes life. 4. The radiant wisdom ground. The fire of wisdom blazes without burning, an illumination that dispels the darkness of ignorance. At this stage, one can examine even the deepest shadows of the mind with fearless understanding, accepting and transcending them through insight. 5. The difficult-to-overcome ground. Major inner challenges arise, not from outside but from the unconscious mind. Old seeds of attachment surface, and the practitioner must face them without avoidance or clinging. The ego is weakened but not extinguished, so resistance remains. Overcoming it opens a new horizon. 6. The manifest ground. The mind grows clear, tranquil, and stable. No more forced effort, mindful living suffices. Phenomena come and go without disturbing the heart. Nothing is labeled good or bad. All is simply unfolding interdependently. 7. The far-reaching ground. One no longer stays at retreat but ventures into the world with a clear mind, helping others without seeking credit, teaching without craving praise, acting without desire for fame or results. Every deed arises from compassion and wisdom, free of attachment or fatigue. 8. The immovable ground. The mind stands unwavering before any upheaval. No need to prove anything. No sway by praise or blame, gain or loss, success or failure. One can dwell amid a bustling marketplace, a noisy city, yet remain as calm as a windless lake, unyielding yet luminous. 9. The good intelligence ground. Wisdom is now deep and responsive. One not only understands oneself, but also guides others gently, opening hearts without harm. No imposition or didactic force, like moonlight softly illuminating water, tender and unobtrusive. Few words are spoken, but they resonate deeply. 10. The cloud of Dharma ground. The mind becomes like a benevolent cloud, bringing rains of Dharma to all without discrimination. No boundary between self and others, no criterion of worthiness. All are part of the Dharma realm and deserve love. One lives as cloud, rain, light, air, no ego remains. Only boundless vows spread in every direction. The 10 grounds are not just a list, but a living spiritual map, a genuine path. For those sincerely walking it, pace need not be rushed or stages skipped, only daily steps, daily deeper self-knowing, daily lighter, calmer, more authentic presence. No one demands you become a bodhisattva. But if you lightly release a bit of ego, quiet yourself enough to feel another's suffering, and show compassion by listening rather than reacting, you are already on the path through the 10 grounds. Part 10. The 10 Practices, the Broad Conduct of a Bodhisattva. Have you ever wondered what enlightenment means if it does not manifest in everyday life? What does understanding the way matter if it does not transform into gentle, kind, silent actions that need no recognition? The Avatamsaka Sutra is not only a blueprint of wisdom but a river of compassionate vows, not seeing in order to know, but seeing in order to live, to act, to become part of the living flow of the Dharma realm through every small deed. If the 10 grounds are the 10 rungs of inner evolution, the 10 practices are 10 forms of living, 10 modes of behavior, 10 methods for engaging the world without leaving truth behind. No grand undertakings or perfect timing needed. Simply choose each small action with mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom. 1. The practice of joyful endeavor. Act not from obligation, fear of karma, or desire for blessings, but from genuine delight in doing good, helping others, bringing light. The one lighting a lamp in darkness does not think of themselves. They only know that if they do not light it, who will? 2. The practice of benefiting others. Every act is aimed at others' welfare. Not for show or praise, but from the realization that all beings share one Dharma realm. If one suffers, true joy eludes all. If one place is wounded, no place is truly safe. Doing good for others purifies the Dharma realm within yourself. 3. The peaceful conduct practice. When faced with adversity, refrain from anger, judgment, or pushing away. Hold the mind as still as calm water. Whatever is thrown in only ripples briefly and then returns to clarity. Not from weakness, but from knowing no one merits the loss of your peace. 4. The tireless practice. Act without weariness, without attachment to outcomes, without taking days off, because compassion never rests, vows never run dry. Knowing the Dharma realm still stirs means the heart must keep moving. 5. The practice of freedom from confusion. Live without delusion or deceit, unensnared by surface news or crowds. Always maintain an inner openness, a guiding light unlost in life's turbulence. Work with awareness, speak with awareness, love without clinging. 6. The timely presence practice. Appear exactly when and where needed, in the right circumstances, with appropriate skill. No scrambling for opportunity, no need to push ahead. When Dharma is called for, when someone needs help, when life requires it, you arrive naturally, sincere, silent, unobtrusive. 7. The non-attachment practice. Live without clinging to anything, no attachment to reputation, no clinging to past deeds. Hold neither praise nor criticism, let go of roles, titles, images, esteem. Live like passing wind, flowing water, having done the work, leave without looking back. 8. The respectful practice. Regard all people, things, and situations with respect. Do not belittle the unenlightened because you understand the Dharma. Each person holds a lesson, each circumstance is a condition, each mistake a chance for the Dharma realm to awaken. 9. The skillful means practice. Act according to right Dharma. No manipulation, no using expedient justifications for ends, no invoking compassion to control, no wielding wisdom to subjugate. All deeds are grounded in principles of non-self, compassion, and insight. 10. The authenticity practice. Live with utter honesty, no feigned serenity, no donning of pious robes, no use of polished language to conceal a restless mind. Live authentically, no avoidance, no embellishment, no perfection required, but unwavering truth to what is. Then every word and every glance is clear, not flashy but profound, not ornate but touching. These 10 practices are not metaphysical ideals. They are concrete, immediate imperatives for daily life. You need not be a bodhisattva, only a person who wishes to live more beautifully, more wholesomely, more lightly. And if you live in this way, even unseen, the Dharma realm is still healed through each breath you exhale, each deed you perform, each quiet moment you hold amid life's clamor. Part 11. The 10 Dedications. Releasing merit back to the Dharma realm. Merit is not something to hoard. There is a curious tendency in the human mind. When we do something good, we want others to know. Even in silence, a small ego whispers, "I helped. I understand the way. I deserve credit." It seems harmless, but that whisper is the first step into clinging. Clinging to our deeds, to the image we build, to the sense of being superior. Merit ceases to be merit once it's tainted by self-interest. In the Avatamsaka Sutra, After a bodhisattva has cultivated the 10 practices, they move into a new phase, the 10 dedications, 10 ways to relinquish everything they have accumulated, 10 paths to return all merit to the Dharma realm, 10 actions in which nothing is kept for oneself, not even a thought, not out of obligation, but because they see that nothing truly belongs to me. All that we have arises from the support of the Dharma realm, and thus should be offered back to the Dharma realm. Letting go brings lightness. Not clinging brings clarity. Not holding on is the true bodhisattva way. 1. Dedication to the enlightenment of all beings. Do not reserve merit for one's own awakening. Do not think, I will attain Buddhahood first. Instead, wish that no being is left behind, that all, friends, foes, beings in hell, attain awakening. 2. Dedication to universal equality. Extend benefit beyond individuals to all worlds. No longer draw lines between us and them, our people and their people. Let the mind expand like earth and sky, embracing all directions. 3. Dedication to boundless wisdom. Seek not tangible merit, but the opening of infinite insight. Such wisdom is not found in texts. It arises when altruism peaks. Only when nothing is held can wisdom expand without limit. 4. Dedication to obstacle-free action. Let go of discrimination. Do not separate sacred from mundane, monastics from lay people, high from low. Every simple deed can be the way. Every compassionate word can be dharma. 5. Dedication to pure lands. Do not let merit swirl back into the egoistic cycle of rebirth. Instead, let it illuminate all pure lands. Wherever you reside, that world becomes purer, brighter, more tranquil. 6. Dedication to supreme enlightenment. Aspire not for personal awakening, but because awakening's light guides countless others. One enlightened being reveals the path for thousands. One bright mind ignites many. 7. Dedication to emptiness. Do not cling even to the act of dedicating. See all as dreamlike, shadow-like, cloud-like. Offer and release without a trace, forgetting all attachment to past deeds. 8. Dedication to formless offering. Do not construct an image of the one who dedicates. Do not build an identity of I am the bodhisattva. Let all merge into the traceless current of life. 9. Dedication to true purity. No pretense, no performance, no craving for recognition. Perform good deeds as if they were obvious, helping as if merely repaying the Dharma realm's kindness. 10. Dedication unified with the Dharma realm. The dedicating mind becomes the Dharma realm itself. No boundary between giver, receiver, and observer. All flows seamlessly like rain, unbiased like sunlight, expecting nothing in return. The 10 dedications are not ritual formulas, but the dissolution of ego in every action, living so that each deed becomes a cool stream flowing away, keeping nothing for oneself, claiming no credit, boasting not at all. They arise from a deeper insight. Clinging is suffering. Letting go is true lightness. Only when no I remains to claim, I did this, does the deed shine brilliantly in silence. Part 12. The Dharma, realm of interdependent origination. If there is one word that unlocks the entire philosophy of Buddhism, it is not enlightenment nor nirvana, but a simple, bottomless term, interdependent origination. When the Buddha attained awakening under the Bodhi tree, the first truth he saw was that all phenomena arise in dependence upon one another. Nothing exists independently, nothing stands alone, nothing is mine in any absolute sense. If dependent origination grounds the entire phenomenal world, then in the Avatamsaka Sutra this vision is pushed to its zenith, becoming the Dharma, realm of one vast web of conditions, an endless, limitless interdependence. Not merely this gives rise to that, but all give rise to all. Not a chain of pairs, but an infinite network with no beginning, no end, no center, no periphery. For example, you hear a spoken phrase. You might think it is just sound from a device, but look deeper. The sound depends on technology. Technology depends on human ingenuity. Ingenuity depends on education. Education depends on society. Society arises from history, culture, language, nature, conflict, peace. Trace each link, and you see that a single sound is the manifestation of the entire Dharma realm in motion. An utterance is not simply, "I just spoke," but the convergence of countless causes from countless lifetimes, manifesting in a moment. One glance, one breath, one keystroke, one silent pause. All is interdependent origination. Nothing truly exists alone. Nothing truly disappears alone. No one suffers in isolation, nor can one find happiness apart from all others. Seeing this clearly, an awakened person no longer blames life or the self. There are no perpetrators, no victims, only an ever-shifting web of conditions continuously interacting to form the present. You may feel anger towards someone who is at fault, but you also contributed to that anger through words, attitudes, and your own unrecognized suffering. You may love someone, not out of virtue alone, but because countless past conditions brought you together. That love, too, is the fruit of interdependent origination. No one is a complete stranger. No one belongs to you forever. All are temporary expressions of interdependence. When you see this, you cease wanting to control or possess, cease striving to reshape the world to your will, because you see that nothing stands alone to be grasped or cast away. Everything that is arises from an infinite matrix. If you wish to change one thing, do not focus on its surface. Gently transform the conditions behind it. Do not rush, go deep. Like a river, if the water is murky, do not scoop out each grain of dirt. Let it settle, change the source, look to the flow's course. Likewise, to find peace, examine the interdependent causes in each breath, each thought, each word, each link in the ever-arising chain. Living with this vision, you need no arguments. Simply slow down, become still, give thanks more, and move gently. You no longer blame anyone, for all are victims of ignorance and the karmic flow of past. You no longer scorn anyone, for all are nodes in the Dharma realms unfolding. You no longer inflate your ego, for everything you have is the result of conditions beyond your control. The Dharma realm of interdependent origination does not trap you in fate. It opens freedom. Freedom not of, "I will do what I want," but the clear seeing that all is functioning as it is. And once you see this, your mind need not strive to change the world. It only needs to live rightly in each moment. Living with the understanding that every thought sown plants a seed in the Dharma realm. Every word spoken wafts a breeze through the web of conditions. Every deed you perform contributes to the river of life. Nothing is small, nothing is solitary, nothing is separate. The entire Dharma realm quietly merges with every breath you draw. And if you exhale in mindful awareness, you breathe not only for yourself, but for all. Part 11. The 10 Dedications Releasing Merit Back to the Dharma Realm. Merit is not meant to be kept. There's a strange tendency in our minds. When we do good, we want others to know. Even in silence, a small ego whispers, "I helped, I understand the way, I deserve credit." It seems harmless, but that whisper is the first clinging to our deeds, to the image we build, to the sense that we are superior. Once tainted by self-interest, merit is no longer pure. In the Avatamsaka Sutra, after a bodhisattva completes the 10 practices, they enter a new phase, the 10 dedications, 10 ways to relinquish everything they've accumulated, 10 paths to return all merit to the Dharma realm, 10 actions in which nothing is kept for oneself, not even a single thought. Not out of duty, but because they see that nothing truly belongs to me. All that arises does so through the Dharma realm support, thus it all should flow back into the Dharma realm. Letting go brings lightness, releasing brings clarity. Non-clinging is the true bodhisattva way. 1. Dedication to the awakening of all beings. Release merit not for one's own Buddhahood, but for the awakening of every being, friends and foes, beings in hell, all. 2. Dedication to universal equality. Extend benefit not to individuals but to entire worlds, letting go of our people and their people, embracing all directions like earth and sky. 3. Dedication to boundless wisdom. Seek not tangible rewards but the opening of infinite insight. True wisdom arises when altruism peaks. Only when nothing is held can wisdom expand without limit. 4. Dedication to obstacle-free action. Release all discrimination. No boundary between sacred and mundane, monastic and lay, high and low. Every act can be the way. Every compassionate word can be dharma. 5. Dedication to pure lands. Do not let merit recycle back into egoic rebirth. Instead, let it illuminate all pure lands. Wherever you go, let that realm become purer, brighter, more tranquil. 6. Dedication to supreme awakening. Aspire not for personal enlightenment, but because one awakened mind illuminates many. When one shines, countless others can see the path. 7. Dedication to emptiness. Do not cling even to the dedication itself. See all as dreamlike, shadow-like, cloud-like, offer and release without attachment, without leaving a trace. 8. Dedication to formless offering. Do not build an image of the one who dedicates. Do not claim any identity as bodhisattva. Let all merge into the traceless flow of life. 9. Dedication to true purity. No pretense, no performance, no need for recognition. Do good as though it is obvious, help as though merely repaying the Dharma realm's kindness. 10. Dedication unified with the Dharma realm. The dedicating mind becomes the Dharma realm itself. No separation between giver, receiver, and witness. All flows like rain, unbiased like sunlight, expecting nothing in return. These 10 dedications are not rituals but the dissolution of ego in every action, living so that each deed becomes a clear stream flowing away, claiming no credit, boasting not at all. They arise from a deeper insight. Clinging is suffering. Letting go brings true lightness. Only when no, I remains to claim, I did this, does the deed shine in pure silence. Part 12. The Dharma, realm of interdependent origination. If there is one key to unlocking Buddhist philosophy, it is not enlightenment nor nirvana, but a simple, boundless word, interdependent origination. When the Buddha awakened under the Bodhi tree, the first truth he saw was that all phenomena arise in dependence upon one another. Nothing exists independently, nothing stands alone, nothing belongs to me in absolute isolation. In the Avatamsaka Sutra, this insight is taken to its summit as the Dharma, realm of a vast network of conditions, endless, limitless interdependence. Not merely this gives rise to that, but all give rise to all. Not a linear chain, but an infinite web with no beginning, no end, no center, no edge. For example, you hear a spoken phrase. It seems like mere sound, but look deeper. The sound depends on technology. Technology depends on human ingenuity. Ingenuity depends on education. Education depends on society. Society arises from history, culture, language, nature, conflict, peace. Trace each link, and you see that a single sound is the entire Dharma realm in motion. A single utterance is not merely, I spoke. It is the convergence of countless causes from innumerable lives, manifesting in a moment, one glance, one breath, one keystroke, one silent pause. All is interdependent origination. Nothing truly stands alone. Nothing truly disappears alone. No one suffers in isolation. No one can be happy apart from all others. Seeing this clearly, the awakened no longer blame life or self. There are no perpetrators, no victims, only a shifting web of conditions forming the present. You may feel anger towards someone, but you also contributed to that anger by your words, attitudes, and unrecognized suffering. You may love someone, not from virtue alone, but because countless conditions brought you together. That love too is the fruit of interdependence. No one is a complete stranger. No one belongs to you forever. All are temporary expressions of interdependent origination. When you see this, you cease wanting to control or possess, cease trying to mold the world to your will, because nothing stands alone to be grasped or cast away. Everything arises from an infinite matrix. If you wish to change something, do not act on its surface. Gently transform the conditions behind it. Do not rush, go deep. Like a river, if the water is muddy, do not scoop each speck of dust. Let it settle, change the source, observe the current. Likewise, to find peace, examine the causes behind each breath, each thought, each word, each link in the ever-rising chain. Living with this vision, you need no arguments. Simply slow down, be still, give thanks more, and move gently. You no longer blame anyone, for all are affected by ignorance and karma's flow. You no longer scorn anyone, for all are links in the Dharma realms unfolding. You no longer inflate your ego, for all you are and have arises from conditions beyond your control. The Dharma, realm of interdependent origination, does not imprison you in fate. It opens true freedom, a freedom not of, I will do what I want, but of clear seeing, perceiving all as it is. And once you see this, you need not strive to change the world. Live rightly each moment, knowing that each thought you think plants a seed in the Dharma realm. Each word you speak becomes a breeze in the web of conditions. Each deed you perform contributes to the river of life. Nothing is small, nothing is solitary, Nothing is separate. The entire Dharma realm merges with every breath you take. And if you exhale in mindful awareness, you breathe not only for yourself, but for all. Part 13. Perfect integration. No obstruction in the Dharma realm. Imagine standing before a mirror that reflects the entire world behind you. Every detail, every movement, every glimmer of light. That gives some sense of perfect integration. In the Avatamsaka Sutra, perfect integration is not theory or concept, but the actual state where everything exists within everything, interpenetrating with no obstruction. A speck of dust contains the universe. A drop of water mirrors moon and stars. One thought can ripple through the entire Dharma realm. Integration means no separation. No, this blocks that. No split between principle and phenomena, purity and defilement, meditation and daily life, self and other, high and low, inside and outside, deep and shallow. This seeing isn't vague but penetrates the very essence of every phenomenon. All arise through mutual support and manifest through mutual integration. Obstruction appears only to a dualistic mind. Have you ever felt sadness while knowing you're sad, or anger while understanding you're angry, or blame someone yet glimpse their suffering? That is a form of integration, neither excluding nor resisting, but seeing with greater clarity, broader compassion, deeper insight. The Avatamsaka calls this unobstructed principle, phenomena, principle being absolute truth, essence, phenomena being concrete worldly forms. When principle does not obstruct phenomena and phenomena do not obscure principle, that is unobstructed integration. Living so that every moment becomes a doorway to truth, that is unobstructed practice. No need for wilderness retreats or remote monasteries. Even a noisy meeting reveals impermanence. Even washing dishes can unveil non-self. Nothing can stop you from the way if your vision is deep enough, and nothing can pull you away if your mind is already the Dharma realm. A blooming flower embodies impermanence. A car horn can become a call to awaken. A stranger's glance can open a realm of compassion. Perfect integration sees nothing to discard, nothing to cling to, only what requires clear perception. We suffer because our minds divide, like and dislike, good and bad, sacred and profane. But a bodhisattva no longer divides, no longer trapped by separation, no longer fleeing an outside, no longer clinging to an inside. The heart then is complete. All experiences are embraced. All departures are released lightly. No one excluded from compassion, no circumstance deemed an obstacle. Everything is dharma, everything a field for awakening. Integration is not living in light while avoiding darkness, but light flowing into darkness without needing to destroy it. Nothing must be purged, only understood and embraced with wisdom. Those unaccustomed to integration fear pain, mistakes, loss, misunderstanding, imperfection. But one living in integration knows none of this fear, for all is manifestation of the Dharma realm, nothing lies beyond. A waving hand continues countless conditions. A falling tear is no less part of the whole. An error is fertile ground for awakening. Only a divided mind obstructs the way. When you release division, you see that every person, every deed, every step draws you nearer to that boundless essence. That is perfect, unobstructed integration, a light illuminating all, fearing no fragment of darkness, a wisdom that sees an ocean in a drop, a compassion that discriminates no being, loving all without exception. Living this, every place you enter is a sanctuary, every act a practice, every person a bodhisattva in another form. No one is a stranger, no one an obstacle, each is yourself, each part of the one. Part 14. One mind contains the three baskets. A single mind encompasses all dharma. Have you ever thought, if all dharmas arise from mind, why search for truth outside? If each of us already has the conditions to awaken wisdom, why do we keep seeking, studying, practicing, yet still feel incomplete? The Avatamsaka Sutra calls this one mind and the three baskets. The one mind is enough. When truly realized and settled, nothing is lacking or distant, nothing more is needed. The three baskets refer to the entire corpus of Buddhist teachings, sutras, Vinaya, and Abhidharma. Everything the Buddha taught, the path, methods, tools, and map to awakening. Yet they exist only to bring us back to mind, to illuminate, to remind, to help mind be the foundation, the source, the Dharma realm itself. Mind is not thought, not emotion, not memory, nor an eternal soul. In the Avatamsaka view, mind is the dynamic, pervasive basis of all phenomena. Mind is not confined to the head, nor limited by the body. Mind is what, when you truly pause, lets you feel the universe breathing with you. When you feel sadness, mind is the awareness of sadness, untainted by it. When you think, mind is the observer of thought, not lost in it. When you gaze at a flower, mind allows you to see not just petals, but the totality manifesting as a blossom. When you quiet yourself, no longer chasing, no longer forcing practice, no longer striving for greatness, you see that all dharmas already dwell within this one mind. One clear mind contains the entire dharma realm. A luminous mind reveals all dharmas. A clouded mind, even if it knows every text, only grasps letters. We do not study the way to accumulate knowledge, but to remove obscurations hiding innate light. Not adding, but peeling away. Not seeking without, but turning inward. Like a mirror needing no extra light, just a dusting, and images appear. The light was always there. Reflections were always waiting. A profound saying in the sutras. All beings possess Buddha nature but fail to see it because of delusions. This means you already have it. You just cannot see it. Your vision is covered by prejudices, fears, attachments, comparisons. In the Avatamsaka, when a bodhisattva realizes this one mind, they see also the three baskets. They select skillful means from teachings. For all teachings arise from mind and belong nowhere outside mind. Mind is an ocean. Sutras, discipline, and philosophy are streams flowing from that ocean. To know the whole, return to the source, the ocean. Studying only streams leads to debate, comparison, and losing sight that each teaching is a temporary manifestation in the living flow, not a separate absolute. Those who have not seen mind use dharma to judge others. Those who see mind use dharma to examine themselves. Those who have not seen mind cling to vows out of fear of sin. Those who see mind keep vows as naturally as breathing. No force, no strain. Those who have not seen mind accumulate merit. Those who see mind keep nothing. Every altruistic act is a natural expression of a mind that is already pure. No need for recognition or praise, nor for dedicating merit. Only living, breathing, acting like a stream flowing away without leaving traces. That is one mind and the three baskets. You need not seek more teachings. Simply sit with your mind, not to seek, but to see what already moves within. No force, no banishing, no fixing. Just observe, just know, just be still. In that stillness, every teaching you've learned, every sutra verse you've read, every doubt you've held will blossom like flowers in sunlight, without effort, without explanation, without analysis. For then there is no one understanding. Only a clear mind opening countless doorways. Part 15. Entering the Dharma realm, the summit of perfect integration. There is something quiet and profound. All our spiritual journey is not meant to lead us to another place, but to bring us home. Home to where? Not to some sacred mountain, nor to a purified self, but to the Dharma realm, a realm we never actually left. We simply fail to see it through our deluded, narrow vision. In truth, from the moment we were born, we have always dwelt in the Dharma realm. Every breath, every step, every glance is the Dharma realm manifesting itself. Entering the Dharma realm is not a sudden flight into another dimension. No one opens a door for you. No miracle occurs. Rather, your vision simply becomes so clear that you realize everything remains as it was. Only your eyes have changed. It is like wiping dust from a window pane. The world outside did not change, but you suddenly see through every layer of glass. In the Avatamsaka Sutra, entering the Dharma realm is the state in which the practitioner has passed through every veil of ignorance, transcended all technique-driven practice, abandoned even the very notion of awakening, and is left only with a mind dissolved into the whole. At that moment, there is no I, no method, no goal, no path, only life itself, fully awake, selfless, perfectly integrated. You no longer perceive the Dharma realm as an external world. You see every arising thought as part of it. The Dharma realm is not only mountains, rivers, clouds, and moon, but also thoughts, emotions, memories, breath, and dreams. All are Dharma in operation. Nothing lies outside the Dharma. Nothing fails to be the Dharma realm. One who has entered the Dharma realm lives amid darkness without disturbance. They hear noise yet remain as still as a lake. They face criticism without being swept away, suffer pain without sinking into victimhood. Why? Because they see clearly that all appearances arise from conditions and dissolve with conditions. In the flux of arising and passing, there is no me. Only the Dharma realm flowing as a timeless current. Living in that awareness, no method is needed. No special meditation posture is required. No chanting to feel peace. No retreat to escape the world. For they already embody stillness amid chaos, meditation amid daily life, the Dharma realm in every step, every word, every breath. No in and out, no right and wrong, no practitioner and world, nothing to hold, nothing to discard. Only empty fullness, steadfast ease, and spontaneous freedom. One who has entered the Dharma realm can smile amid sorrow, not to avoid it, but because they recognize sadness itself as Dharma, and that recognition makes sorrow clear, undisturbing, unprolonged, no longer suffering. Such a one's every action becomes like a fragrance, no striving to spread it, yet it naturally wafts, no effort to appear, yet it naturally shines. At that point, they need no approval, no understanding. They no longer grieve misunderstandings, nor rejoice in praise, nor fear loss. They need nothing more, for they see all as already complete, all is already here, and in that moment they no longer seek the Buddha, because they themselves are part of Buddha's body. No ritual, no exalted name, no deification, only seeing, living, and dissolving into that vision. Part 16. The Great Vows and Practices of Samantabhadra. When the way remains theory only, some speak beautifully of it, quote scriptures with clarity like sages. Yet when anger arises, they cannot restrain it. When criticized, they feel wounded. When things go against them, they shrink like children. This is not their fault. It is simply that the way lives in the head, not in action, not in the cells of the heart, not yet transformed into a silent, powerful way of life. That is where Samantabhadra's great vows and practices appear. Samantabhadra embodies great vows and great conduct, not only understanding but living, not only belief but doing, not only theory but permeating every action. If Manjusri is wisdom, then Samantabhadra is action. If Manjusri reveals clear seeing, Samantabhadra reminds you to walk upon that seeing, to live, practice, and embody wisdom in concrete deeds. In the Avatamsaka Sutra, Samantabhadra makes 10 great vows. These vows are not 10 phrases to recite, but 10 streams of ethical conduct, 10 directions so that each day's life never separates from the way. 1. Homage to all Buddhas. Not just bowing, but bowing in the heart, seeing Buddha, nature in every being and lesson in every circumstance. No one to despise, nothing to resent. Every place becomes a sanctuary, every person a living Buddha. 2. Praise of the Tathagata. Not mere verbal praise, but living so that every action is a song of truth, a compassionate smile, wholehearted listening, a deep forgiveness. The most beautiful hymn. 3. Universal offering. Not only offering flowers, lamps, and fruits, but offering mindful presence, the gift of kindness, the gift of time to listen to one in pain, the gift of inner peace. 4. Repentance of karmic hindrances. Not self-flagellation, but deep inspection of the loops of suffering within. Why do I feel hurt? Why do I feel anger? Why do I cling? Repentance leads to insight, and insight brings liberation. 5. Rejoicing in others' merits. No envy or silent jealousy. When you see others' good deeds, you rejoice as if you did them yourself, because all merit returns to the Dharma realm. None belongs to any me. 6. Requesting the turning of the Dharma wheel. Not literally inviting a teacher, but living as a turning Dharma wheel, living so that others naturally want to understand the way. No force, no lecture, only authentic, deep, conscientious being. 7. Requesting the Buddha to remain in the world. Not preserving relics, but sustaining the Buddha in the heart through mindful living. The Buddha abides wherever truth is lived. The Buddha manifests wherever hearts are peaceful and steadfast. 8. Always following the Buddha's teaching. Not to accumulate knowledge, but to unlearn what you think you know. Practice humility. Recognize yourself as a novice. Never close your heart to truth. 9. Harmonizing with all beings. Not pandering, but adapting to each capacity and circumstance to guide. No dogmatic imposition, no forcing of doctrine. Knowing when to speak, when to remain silent, when to stop, when to proceed. 10. Dedicating all merits to the Dharma realm. not keeping merit for oneself, not building an image of the Holy One. Simply living, doing, and releasing. These 10 great vows do not dwell in texts, but in every meal you cook, every person you listen to in silence, every moment you hold your tongue, every act of kindness you perform unknown. Samantabhadra is not some distant symbol. Samantabhadra is you when you let the way melt into every act of living. Part 17. Endless interpenetration. One is all is one. There is a strange truth that if you pause and take a deep breath, you can feel it. Everything seems interconnected. Nothing arises without carrying traces of countless others. Nothing departs without leaving echoes throughout the whole. You take a sip of water. Within that sip are the sun, clouds, oceans, the climate cycle, the efforts of everyone who made the cup and the water, and the lives of countless beings that ever touched it. This is poetry and reality, an endless interpenetration. The one is all is one. Philosophy in the Avatamsaka Sutra is not a concept to repeat, but a living experience when you look at everything with eyes freed from ego clinging. When you deeply understand this, you no longer live as an isolated individual lost in the world. You no longer see yourself as the center or anyone else as outside. You see every person as part of you and you alive in each one. When you suffer, not only do you suffer, your loved ones ripple with you, and the entire Dharma realm registers it. A single angry thought can cast shadows into countless futures yet to come. Equally, a genuine smile can soothe a whole room. A heart of compassion can dissolve enmity spanning lifetimes. One is all is one. Nothing is truly separate or accidental. No action belongs only to me without affecting the world, and no world stands apart from me. When you see this, you begin to walk lightly, speak slowly, breathe deeply, listen fully, because you do not wish to create distorted ripples. When you realize you are but a drop within the ocean of the Dharma realm, you understand that how you treat others is how you treat yourself. How you love another being is how you heal countless parts of your own self. How you treat the environment is how you treat your own mind. Nothing to avoid, nothing to blame. If there is suffering, look at the conditioning. If there is resentment, look at the connection. If there is conflict, look at the mistaken perception. Little by little, you see no grand deed is necessary. Only truly being present in each moment. A single drop that knows it belongs to the river will never feel lost again. One person who realizes every breath links them to billions of lives will never live superficially. The Avatamsaka calls this vision the Dharma realm of boundless interdependent origination. Not merely a giving rise to be, but a giving rise to be while B gives rise to A, both giving rise to C, D, and all arising to all simultaneously. No linear order, no first or last. Every Dharma arises together, interpenetrating and infinitely influencing each other. Like a candle placed among countless mirrors, its flame reflects endlessly, an infinite radiance from one source. You are that candle. The Dharma realm is the mirrors. Every thought you have, every word you speak, every action you take reflects and radiates without limit, without boundary. Thus, mindful living is not just for my own sake, but to become a gentle, healing light in countless mirrors. Know you and others, know inside and outside. No small Dharma and large Dharma. Only one reality breathing, and you are its breath. Part 18. The Flower Ornament World. When this life is a pure land. Perhaps what causes the deepest suffering is not circumstances or external events, but our belief that this world is one of defilement. We think we must escape to somewhere higher, purer, more sacred to find joy or attain awakening. Yet the Avatamsaka Sutra teaches otherwise. Immediately here, even in this dusty life, is the Pure Land. Not will become, not afterward, but already is. A pure land is not a place, but a vision, not where we go, but how our mind lives. Someone standing in a pine forest yet filled with anger will not see the Pure Land. Someone amid a bustling market, yet serene as an autumn sky, stands precisely in Buddha's realm. Therefore, if you perceive the world as defiled, it is your mind that is stained. If you perceive others as flawed, it is your own mirror covered in dust. But when you truly quiet down, you find everything precisely in its place. No need to fix, no need to eliminate, no need to flee. This is the Flower Ornament World, a realm where the Pure Land is not a destination but the depth of clear seeing. The Buddha did not create the Pure Land. He simply saw it clearly and lived in that vision. Like someone wearing tinted glasses, remove them, and the world instantly changes, not because the world changes, but because your vision clears. So it is with you. When you live with a mind free of greed, hatred, and delusion, you need not seek another realm. You will see that right here is the Avatamsaka Dharma realm manifesting. Every leaf, every laughing child, every ray of light shining through a window is the display of a world of infinite interdependence, and you are inseparable from it. No need to dream of Western paradise, no need to construct a heavenly realm, just turn inward and quiet down long enough, and you will see flower ornament world right now. The world you see is not ugly, it is your mind feared. The world you live is not lost. You have not paused long enough to see the beauty beneath the dust of ignorance. When you understand this, you will no longer yearn for another place to begin awakening, for you see that only here is the deepest practice. The very person who annoys you is your lesson in compassion. The very circumstance that exhausts you teaches you surrender. The sudden rain reminds you to return home. Nothing is not the way. Nowhere is not Buddha. No moment is not a Pure Land. Only do not miss it. Do not think happiness lies in tomorrow. Do not believe awakening is something far off. Simply look deeply at this moment. Sit, breathe, smile, give thanks, and recognize that the Pure Land has never left you. Only you have left the Pure Land. Part 19, Manifestation and Concealment is Non-Dual. The Buddha is not somewhere far away. The way is not separate from life. You may have silently wondered, if the Buddha is awakening and the way is truth, why are they so hard to find? Why does the Buddha always appear in paintings, scriptures, and temples, yet remain so elusive in the simplest moments of daily life? Why do we think the way lies outside ordinary existence, reserved for monastics, while we as laypeople lack the necessary conditions? The answer lies in a special vision the Avatamsaka Sutra calls manifestation and concealment as non-dual. In other words, the way is not elsewhere, nor is the Buddha outside the mind. What is manifest is what is concealed, and what is concealed is what is manifest. There is no boundary, no inside the way or outside the way, no separation between ordinary and saintly. Only one stream of life, simultaneously hidden, revealed, dissolving, and shining forth. A falling flower petal is the way. A baby's cry is the way. A heartache, if seen deeply, is also the way because nothing lies outside Dharma. We simply fail to see it when we divide, defiled world here and transcendent realm there, layperson here and saint there, thinking we must escape life to touch the way. Yet if you look closely, the way is hidden within life itself, and the Buddha is present in even the humblest person. A mother up late caring for her child, giving everything yet expecting nothing in return, that is compassion. Someone who does not retaliate when insulted, not from weakness but from seeing no need to compete, that is forbearance. A person living quietly, kindly, without show or desire for praise, that is selflessness. There is no other light, no other Buddha, only people flowing like water, neither fully manifest nor hidden, simply being. When you truly see this, you will not seek the way on distant pilgrimages. You need not go to remote forests or memorize countless sutras or bind yourself to rigid forms. Simply live with wakeful presence, gratitude, simplicity, and depth. You need not strive to become someone else, for the Buddha breathes with you, watches quietly through every choice you make, not to judge, but to help you realize you have never left the way. You once believed that one day you would meet the Buddha. In truth, you already have, in a loved one's gaze, in morning birdsong, in the genuine sorrow you feel when facing yourself, in the moment you let go of something small and your heart feels light. The way does not arrive with thunder, nor through miracles, but when you cease dividing life into secular and spiritual. The way is how you wash dishes, how you navigate a tiring day, how you accept someone different, how you refrain from words that wound. Nothing more, manifest and concealed as one. You only need to change one thing, not the world, but your own seeing. Part 20, The Boundless Dharma Body. When there is no one left to awaken, only light remains. Have you ever wondered, when a bodhisattva awakens, do they become something else, or do they simply dissolve? To dissolve does not mean to vanish, but to transcend all limits. No more, I am practicing, I am knowing, I am striving. No more form, no more title, no more one to bear witness or attain. Only light, light not of the eyes, but of perfect, all-pervading awareness. That is the boundless Dharma body. The Dharma body is not a physical form, not an emotional presence, not the I sitting here. It is the clear, limitless essence beyond all phenomena. When a bodhisattva enters deep realization, there is no they, no sudden attainment, no new elevated self, only an immense, silent flow of transparent light. Therefore, the Dharma body cannot be captured, named, or confined by any doctrine. It neither comes nor goes. It neither arises nor ceases. It is neither inside nor outside. It belongs to no one, yet never leaves anyone. You can touch it when you sit quietly watching the sunset. No thoughts, no effort to understand. Only the heart expanding as it merges with the evening glow. You can touch it when you witness someone suffering and your heart responds without judgment. Only compassion, only presence. You can touch it when you see all beings as equal. No one above, no one below, no enlightened versus ignorant. All are the Dharma manifesting in myriad forms. Then there is no one left to awaken. Only a radiance streaming from a selfless source. One who lives in the Dharma body needs not persuade or explain. They need not stand apart to point out faults. They live like sunlight, unstinting, unbiased, unassuming, shining softly wherever there is need, asking no gratitude. That light can only shine when the ego ceases to insist, only flow when there is no thought, I am shining. Only permeate when the one who shines has fully dissolved. No one remains to awaken, no one remains to attain, no one requires anything more. Only that radiance flowing, unfolding, manifesting, concealing in perfect unity. See, a lotus rising from mud does not boast of its purity. A full moon in the night sky needs no commentary on its brightness. One truly living in the Dharma body needs not be called Buddha, for they know that everyone standing before them already shares that Dharma body, only they have yet to recognize it. Therefore, one living in the Dharma body does not save others, but simply allows them to see their own light. No gift, no gesture, no mapped-out path, only a complete, silent presence, letting the unnameable light shine through. And when that light touches another, they too dissolve, they no longer seek to attain. Instantly, a new stream of Dharma body arises amid the world's turmoil. The Dharma body knows no boundary, no doctrine, no sect, no separation of form. Only a pure presence interpenetrating all dharmas, with no one left to hold on to. You have walked with me through a long journey, from a single speck of dust to the boundless Dharma realm, from layer upon layer of thought to complete dissolution without a trace, from a seeing that discriminates to a seeing that embraces without division or difference. You have heard of a world where nothing stands alone, nothing is random, nothing is not connected to everything else. No one is entirely right, and no one is entirely wrong. There are only waves meeting, reflecting, and transforming each other. That world is not far away, not in the future, not in some other plane. It is here and now, in the breath you just took, in the gaze you bestow on life, in the warmth that still remains in your palm. That is the Dharma realm of Avatamsaka. This realm does not demand that you leave the world behind, does not force you to become someone else, does not require you to attain any exalted state. It only asks you to live authentically, live with gratitude, live mindfully, live without clinging to the self, to live like a river that does not need to hold its shape, like a fragrance that does not need applause. The Dharma realm of Avatamsaka does not ask for blind faith. It simply invites you to look again, not at theory, but at yourself, to notice how you breathe, how you feel pain, how you fall silent at the suffering of others, how you choose compassion instead of anger, how you hold your tongue instead of seeking to win, how you let go even when part of you still wants to cling. That is the path, that is the Dharma realm, that is Avatamsaka. You need not be an awakened one, nor a meditation master, nor a teacher. You only need the courage to live as if each moment is an utterance of the sutra, each step a bow, each glance a small awakening. And then you will find that you no longer seek awakening, because you see that every person, every event, every situation is already returning you home, returning you to the place you never truly left, where all questions dissolve, where there is no one to prove anything, nothing to understand, no practitioner and no ignorant one. Only life living transparently, living emptily, living harmoniously, living like a silent poem spreading, seeping everywhere and merging with all. And do you know? If you arrive at that place, you will no longer need to speak. Presence alone will suffice. That very presence is a flower of reverence blooming in silence. No one sees it with the eyes, yet everyone senses it. No one can define it, yet no one can deny it. That is the way home. No steps are needed, no span of time, no specific method. You only need to return in this very moment, right where you are seated. Thank you for listening in silence, for journeying with me through these 21 parts, for not only hearing but sensing, for not only learning but living. And if anything remains after all this, I leave you with one thing. You are a flower, needing no audience to bloom, only the depth of bloom that springs from the Dharma realm to which you have always belonged. Thank you for traveling to the end of the philosophy of the Avatamsaka Sutra. All phenomena are one, and one is all phenomena. If you have glimpsed any light on this journey, hold it close and kindle it in your life. Connecting with others is better done not with words but with presence. Until we meet again in another Dharma realm.